Hi, everyone. Ronald Ingram here, your rebel banker futurist, broadcasting live right now from the Nevada high desert, looking down on the Luxor pyramid. We're going out on YouTube only this morning. And yeah, some quick set changes here. So we are broadcasting live on YouTube for the first time ever, and I'll make it available on other channels as well at the end of the recording. So I want to start with something direct. Some critics say I make a lot of announcements and don't deliver. Today is the receipt. Not hype, not promises, proof, code shipped, wallets funded, patents filed, contracts signed, community built, demos live. By the end of this 45 minutes or so, I hope you'll agree and then comments come in on this so I can see comments. So yes, thank you everyone. Good to see comments actually. So here we'll keep going. Here's our agenda. We've actually shipped what we've actually shipped since POCK launched March 26th. The numbers, lines of code, APIs, migrations, live product, the platform, why this is not just a token or a chatbot. Live demo is now available on BROK.neobanx.com. And what's next? The July 24th official launch. XPRIZE TV partnerships. Grab water. This is gonna. This is the full stack, not a highlight reel. Remember this line: we are building a global agentic banking system, not a meme coin, not just a utility token, not just alternative credit scoring, not just an AI banking genius, a platform where humans and autonomous agents bank, evaluate, and transact with sovereignty, self-sovereignty first. Let's talk engineering because skeptics understand code. Since March 26th, across our production repos, we have shipped more than 50,000 lines of production code. That's shipped. 400, more than that, actually 150,000 plus lines of code, about 50,000 lines of production code shipped. 403 source files, 59 API routes, 21 database migrations, 14 live pages, 3 websites, 100 library modules where when you can count every agent draft, rewrite, and iteration, Gemini Pro, BROK, many versions, Cursor, Codex, Playwright, Hermes, OpenClaw, just about every Claude, just about every agent model has been used, tested, orchestrated, stacked, and reconfigured with my own intellectual property. So like I say, we're closer to 150,000 lines of AI, and agentic AI development and custom code development, the full stack, databases, everything in 106 days. That's roughly 470 lines of shipped product code per day, while running 90 live streams, filing patents, and closing partnerships. So this isn't a deck. It's deployed. BROK.neobanx with an X.com. It's live on the web now. Supabase with a migration to a quantum resilient spanner database on Google. Built, operational. Stripe webhooks so that people can buy POCK more easily than ever before. So when you buy tokens for POCK, or for BROK rather, those tokens are real live tokens that can be transferred into a into your Solana wallet, or you can leave them on platform, and always make sure you have a platform, enough on platform on BROK to utilize the services. And now you can transfer a portion. So you can buy all your future SPOC on the new site and using the Genius wallet. You can buy it, and it's so easy, in line with my promises early on that the user onboarding experience was so difficult that we were going to make it easier. We've done that now with all the payment webhooks and integrations that are in place. The Solana treasury transfers, the BioAge calculator is live and operational. That wasn't even something that I had promised. That's an addition to, and a really cool function. It's based on the Levine PhenoAge. All you do is upload your labs as a PDF. Just take the PDF and just upload it, and it scans everything, fills in, parses it, fills in all the data, and gives you your score, your Levine, your score. And that could be a LabCorp test. It can be a Quest test. I've actually even tested it internationally. Internationally, people in Canada at least have uploaded their blood work, and they get a complete biological age scan that's more accurate than, especially for biohackers and anybody that's into wellness. This is recalibrated and for elite biohackers and wellness fans as well. It'll capture that. It'll capture your fitness levels and things like that, which normally aren't included in standard biohacking measures and calculators. And I really don't know of any other biohacking calculator online that's as easy to use as the one that, and automated as the one that we have, and will form the basis for really cool contests and competitions where we'll monetize and incentivize longevity and wellness and health. So very, very cool. Check it out. You have tokens, and it's very, very inexpensive. So you automatically, if you go on to BROK now, using the links that I provided, and I'll provide, I think they're in this description here, go on to brok.neobanx.com, and you'll automatically, just for registering, you'll get 100 credits to start. And each calculation is a couple of tokens, is a couple of SPOC tokens, and you'll get 100 SPOC tokens. So it has a lot. So the cost for utilization of BROK is very, very low. In fact, it's free. In fact, I'm paying people we're paying people essentially to try it. When you log in, you'll get some free tokens to try it out. So do it. And just in case I don't get back to it, make sure to use the send gift function. It's so cool. The way I've designed it, you could send a gift of SPOC to anyone. They would get a link, and anyone with a credit card or a debit card or a bank account will be able to buy SPOC directly, easily, more easily than any wallet that's out there that I've seen. So, and I've sat with many newbies and normies and saw them struggle. That's why we built this really cool little onboarding ramp that is, because it's designed specifically for SPOC, it makes it super easy. So you can, and so from the initial screen, you just scroll down to the bottom, and I was going to do a demo on the other platform today, but we will get to that. And I may have to switch to another streaming service. This is twice in a row where we've had troubles, and this time StreamYard just completely failed. So that's why we're here today. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, it also scans a DEXA, which if you're anybody that's into biohacking, so this is a little bit more specialized. So that's probably why nobody has built it. But anybody that's kind of wants to see where their biological age is in a relatively objective manner, including the most prevalent, popular scoring method that's out there for biohackers, without all the fluff, because there's a lot of lifestyle things that are often calculated into biological age scores, which may not be relevant and are disputable. So This just sticks very objectively to factual objective data. So that's just the bio age calculator, which I won't talk about that that much again, unless people have questions. But it's very cool. Try it, and it's you're getting SPOCK to try it for free in this early pre-launch. And keep in mind, this is beta, right? So I've opened up the beta now to our communities and just to people that are following on Telegram and on X. And that was after a short friends and family. So this is actually ahead of schedule. And this is not a PowerPoint. This is real product shipped that you can use right now with some pretty sophisticated capabilities. There's also another thing which I haven't spoken about very much, that the book that's coming out goes into in great detail, and that's the Enneagram side of things, in particular the Inneagram, or the Ingram Inneagram. So I reconciled many different systems, including the popular Riso Hudson Enneagram system. And if you do, and have provided a personality test, that's also like, I think 1 or 2 tokens, 1 or 2 SPOCK, so less than a penny to access that and get a nice printout and report. And so you answer the questions, and it'll give you. And many people have said they're challenging questions and with odd things thrown in there. You just have to answer truthfully, and I've made it as simple as possible. I've done really long ones, and I'll introduce longer ones. But this is the most basic, quick, I think 8-question Enneagram test that you can do. And then afterwards, you'll find out what your score is and your personality information. You can ask BROK to do a deep dive for you into learning more about what your personality type represents. And the big difference in the Enneagram system is that we recognize that we don't try to pigeonhole anyone in one type, like a DISC score or Myers-Briggs or other personality testing methodologies. We don't try to lock somebody in to say, this is your personality type, and then a person goes around and says, oh, this is who I am. We are thank God, we are much more complex and interesting and incredible creatures than can be defined in one score. However, with the Enneagram looks at, there's 9 types, and the concept in the Enneagram is that we have all of those 9 types within us, but one is dominant. And there's usually one, we usually hold ourselves, we think of ourselves in a certain way most of the time. Now, if we really do deeper self-exploration, we'll realize that even our mode and our personality and our way of thinking can change pretty dramatically depending on our context. So, for example, I'm a different person live streaming than I would be relaxing with family around a campfire or a fire pit. I'm a different person when the phone rings and a partner calls up, or a business associate or an investor, or we just automatically, when we go into certain modes and we access different parts of ourselves. Actors, the best actors, who are the most fluid, understand this quite well, and so they can play different roles, just about any role, including one that's counter to their dominant, against type, they call it. And they can, but they consciously or unconsciously, what they're doing is accessing different parts of themselves, and that are real and authentic. So they're really a really good method actor literally goes into that role. And that's good for personal development, and it helps you to understand yourself. And that's what the Enneagram teaches. So it also could make you a better actor if you're into acting, or anything that you want to do. If you want to be more hardcore focused on business, you can think about and study the archetype most closely associated with business or compliance or innovation or creativity or foresight or structure and need for order and need for disorder, need for defense, need to attack. All of these different aspects are modes and modalities. And why is this important to banking? Because a good financial advisor, a good banker, the perfect banker that one could envision, if there ever were such a thing, would understand you and really get to know you and help you to know yourself better, even by asking the questions and making you think about what it is that your goals really are. Because how can you set any kind of goals, financial goals or anything? And I hope that we have lots of warriors in because maybe this project is attractive to warriors. And you notice that the likeness of BROK, and eventually you'll be able to customize and put your own face on BROK for additional fee, and because it's a fairly complicated undertaking. But the choice is intentional because it conveys a persona, and you want your advisor, right, in business, which can often be combative, as humanitarian and altruistic as you may wish to be. And if you are a dreamer and a seer type, we all know that that is a name for it, the Shark Tank, right? You see how those interactions work. They tend to be very combative, and so you need a fierce protector of your assets. And so BROK is intended to convey that fierceness, but with logic, with logic being supreme, deep logic, quadrivalent logic. And keep in mind, again, so I'd be interested if people want to post snippets that they think are weird or think that are cool or whatever, that of conversations that they have that they'd be willing to share publicly, or if it privately, DM me if there's something that you think is strange or great. That will help us, because we're in beta. The real launch is July 24th. So let's be constructive, please, with our feedback. So that's enough on the Enneagram. But it's cool. So you can find your Ingram type. And sometime I'll explain about the really profound differences between Riso Hudson and the Enneagram. But for those who are familiar with Enneagram and have done a lot of work on the Enneagram, there are quite a few, millions of people probably around the world that have. So that knowledge is still put to good use. You can translate between the two. And there's a lot of similarities because they do have a lot of the same roots, except that the Enneagram pulled from oral traditions that Riso and Hudson, frankly, just did not have access to, and ancient sacred texts, and by using the tree of life as a key, I was able to unlock the connections to archetypal systems represented in mythology, like the 9 Norse gods, the Ennead, 9 Egyptian gods. There's many instances of 9. The Norse tree of life has 9 worlds associated with it. So there's something very sacred and scalable in this number 9, and the number 10 is represented by the totality. So sometimes you'll see the Enneagram inside a ring, and that ring actually represents the 0 or the 10th, or the number that comes after 9, which is 10, which is the completion of all of those types. And access to all of those types. One thing I like about the Enneagram is that it's not all sugar-coated. You can be, some people, you can evolve in the Enneagram, and you can also be sort of devolved, or you may have parts of yourself in the Enneagram that are very advanced, that you just love, you lived there, and you pretty well, that you're extremely dominant in one type, and other people see you, because sometimes there's dissonance between how way you see yourself and the way other people see you. And so the totality of oneself is ideally a good evolved version of each one of those types. But sometimes you'll have types that you say, there's no part of me that relates to this at all. This often goes with integrator types or alchemist types who put everything together, and controller types, and they will, the alchemist type will think that they have an aversion to the governor type, which is about control and order and rule of law. And in fact, they'll think they're at odds within themselves. And actually, and often when we are at odds with somebody else or something else, it's actually a representation of ourselves. But this isn't a personal development talk. So, but you can go deep into personal development, and it really is part of banking, and you really just can't separate health and wealth. What is the point in wealth if you don't have health? And how the biggest part of our health perhaps is our cognitive health. It affects us physically, viscerally, but it also affects our quality of our life and our ability to achieve and attain our goals and dreams and all of that. So check that out. Just something that I don't think that I'm not unaware of anything else quite like it that exists, and you have free access to it. So use it. I'll say that while it's fresh, one thing too is, and also you don't need to subscribe. However, there may be the persistence of memory, which I've just improved. Someone noticed that in the very first, this is day 2. Also keep in mind, this is day 2 of opening this up, and we have 161 users already. So that have checked it out. So that's what's reflected in the database. And so this is day 2. So this is why I would like feedback and hear snippets of conversations that people have and ask questions about it. But the persistence of memory just in the last 24 hours has been enhanced. And I have a new memory structure, mentioned before how I thought early on that I'd figured out and solved the persistence, the memory persistence challenge that faces all AI projects. And I realized there needs to be some elasticity in memory, and talked about, and so basically I've created layers, so some things are just like with ourselves, some things are top of mind, and other things are readily available to us, and if we think about them for a minute. And other things we're completely oblivious to unless we meditate or practice methods of bringing up information from our subconscious or down from the out from the morphogenetic field, which some quantum theorists surmise is the field of intelligence that connects us all. So that's cool. So that's been accomplished. That's again shipped. We're shipping and adding and upgrading every day. Structured JSON frameworks, not vibes. So the Kiron canon, the durable memory threads, user facts. It'll get to know you better now, and the voice and face. That was a bigger challenge than you may think. We tried many different methods and approaches and models to to get the avatar to where you see it right now. And that consumes tokens. So if you want to conserve tokens, play with it. And or if you need to have, I'll tell you a trick as well, since there's not that many people on this, but people will come back to it. But by then we'll be our systems will be even more scalable. But if you ask for a response and you want a long verbal response, you can just say long form, and otherwise BROK will, if it's speaking in the avatar mode to conserve tokens, it'll give you the first couple of sentences and then it'll say read more below. But if you add long form to your question, then it'll give you a longer response. I did a recording of one of those long form responses that was over 3 minutes long, because they're fairly in-depth questions. This is not fairly in-depth answers. So learning to ask questions is a good thing too. So again, cool to share prompts and things that you might send to BROK. But also, BROK, you can also upload files, up to 5 files. So this is for a banker. A banker usually would have, or for yourself, preparing for a loan application. You could enter financial statements. You could enter, redact them for extra safety. They are redacted by the system too, but for extra safety, you can redact that information. And yeah, that's right. That's another thing that we built in. There's so many things like another report that you can generate. So back to the Inneagram report, that'll generate a nice report for you. With the IEM, you upload those files, and then you can add for your blood work, for example, or for an Ingram evaluation matrix on a business plan, for example, or an investment opportunity, or an annual report. Upload that and get it analyzed, get it summarized. That you can do that right now, and Word docs as well, and PDFs. So that's something that just didn't appear magically. I had to build that. So we had to build that. So file ingestion, all of that is handled and metered on SPOCK. The card top-ups. So you can buy SPOCK, the digital asset SPOCK, online, like easier than ever before. Haven't heard any. I've heard a lot of praise, a lot of testimonials that this is, like, from newbies. The onboarding process to buy crypto is horrible. So here with SPOCK, you're getting a crypto launched by a fully doxed banker, not afraid to put their name on it. Did that because of the guidance provided by the SEC and the CFTC, March 16th. So it was 10 days after that, or 17th. So it was less than 10 days after that I launched SPOCK very, very as quickly as I could after that came out. And then that direction was further clarified with the internal memo that was published publicly, the April 28th memo that describes in great detail what a digital asset is. So SPOCK is a digital asset. And so maybe that's part of the reason that all the other wallets are so cumbersome. Sometimes it's advantageous to come late to the table, so to speak, because you can create with a blank slate. That's like we need to do for the whole banking system. And that, keep in mind, that is the ultimate goal here, is a global agentic banking system that's accessible to anyone, anywhere in the world. And with BROK, their super robo genius banker in their pocket to advise them on as a digital assistant is the technical legal term BROK. I like to call it the super robo genius banker as a more descriptive term that rolls off the tongue for me. And but that's not even very. I've had some people say that, no, I don't like that at all. Right? That should be because it can advise on accounting, not advise, educate, assist on accounting and vetting your accountant and vetting your lawyer, or helping you to think, saving your. So lawyers probably don't like to hear that, but lawyers probably, I think, well, I know from experience that lawyers appreciate when you have better formed ideas. Don't just throw a bunch of AI at them. Don't throw a bunch. That'll cost. They'll charge you extra probably for that. So don't inundate them with AI ideas. But if you use AI to create your own ideas and sort of think, so you can ask more intelligent questions, it'll actually save you money and win you brownie points with your lawyer, because you won't ask as many uninformed questions. There's no dumb questions, right? So that is ready right now, and there are many additional levels and layers to the intelligence that could be provided. And you can somebody was noting, if you have a wallet, so someone DM'd me that they had they signed up on their laptop and their phone, which is fine. They got 200 SPOK that way. However, they weren't synced. And so you can now sync them very easily. Before, it was kind of complicated. We won't say how bad it was before, but now, and all this is in the FAQs. We've got a fully developed FAQs, and BROK has learned, ingested the FAQs and ingests the FAQs as they come up. So you can ask BROK about itself. You can ask BROK about the system and the platform. You can ask BROK about questions about how to do things. And if it doesn't have the answer, let me know, so that we make sure that when we get out of beta, that all of this is even better than it already is. And it's pretty darn good, if I do say so myself. So we can also do a partial on-chain release to Phantom or Soulflare or other wallets. So you'll notice a field in there where you can enter if you have a wallet. So newbies, you don't necessarily need to get a wallet until. And this is in the FAQs. Ultimately, you want a wallet, and if you have large balances in SPOK, you want to get even a hard wallet. And all of that is explained to newbies now and normies. You don't need to rely on me. You can ask me; I'm still available to you, or you can ask, in many respects, my alter ego, BROK. Many of the same things that you'd ask me, and you will get the same or better answers sometimes. Eventually, probably all better answers. It's almost a better version of myself, hopefully. And and you can do partial. So you could buy all your SPOK on the Genius wallet on BROK, on the BROK site, and then you could just easily, if you have your wallet, your regular Solana wallet, your Phantom or Soulflare wallet linked, you can easily just one click and transfer that over to your wallet so that it's on chain. And then we'll educate people if needed, if you're not, on how to move that into a super safe digital vault, that is super self-sovereign, like a Ledger device or a Trevo device, or different devices, Arculus, many different hard wallets that are available, and that you can keep in your safe, air-gapped for ultimate security. So that is all built. And yeah, really, really cuts through the legacy KYC theater on day one with this, which was really hurt us in the beginning, and that shouldn't hurt us again. It seems like that now the onboarding experience is really good. So let's talk about the business and legal stack. Engineering is half the story. Yeah, so we have multiple patents, right? Dating to 2013, and then all of the and numerous patents that have been filed since launch. The secure identity trust and verification systems provisional patent, the BROK provisional patent, the interstellar banking provisional patent. There are numerous concepts that have been patented, and issued patents, and now provisional patents that have now been filed. Some for issuance as well, and the Neo score is still to come, so that'll be post July 24th. But that is really huge, and I'm already experimenting with and have the requirements and everything ready to go. So that's not going to take as long as just like like BROK itself. I wasn't sure if I was going to get to this stage. This could have like we're ahead of schedule on for BROK, and I think that, yeah. So let's just say Neo score. I'm very confident that we'll be able to deliver on that, and that is, I have to prioritize things, and it's a little bit bigger build. Nothing near as what we've already built. The hard part is now done. The Neo score though is the next big thing, because people, it's so important for us to determine between malign versus benign entity differentiation for humans and agents. So that's upcoming. The Stellar Convertible Note instrument, full business plan, financial models. I was formally recognized by Senator Jackie Rosen, July 11th. We got a certificate of recognition for what we've done with Neobanx on received that on June 11th. Meetings with Exodus and crypto organizations locally and in San Francisco. The XPRIZE Build with Gemini is registered. The deadline is August 17th. The what else? So what else do I have here? So we have got over 2,000 members in the last 106 days. We launched the Sharing is Caring program, and now that is extremely easy and could almost be viral if you handle it right. Really encourage people to utilize the Sharing is Caring program by the send gift button, and you can send it by text message. So if you just put in the person's name, and that's actually all you need, and then you can, in the final step, it'll just follow the instructions. You'll see there's a little branch at the bottom, or there's a text, so you can put in a mobile phone number, you can put in different messaging services, you can put in an email, all of those things, and then it'll send a nice little note and a link. They click on that link, and voila, they get 100 POCK credits. So you're not asking them for anything; you're truly giving them a gift, and just say, "Hey, check this out. This is the first crypto that I know of that has been launched by a real banker." So you could say that too. You can say, look up the dev behind this project. There's an encyclopedia article on them on Grokopedia, all written by third parties. So a good way to, probably if you're listening to this, you're pretty hardcore and aware of the fact that crypto is here to stay and is the new basis. DeFi is going to be the new standard even. And even more fundamental than that is crypto. Even more fundamental to that is almost its own class of crypto, which is Bitcoin, being used for very large transactions between nations and institutions. It's an essential part of financial literacy. Everybody needs to be educated about crypto and about AI too. And so actually, come to think of it, sometimes you're so deep in something, you forget that even AI is new to people. So people are going to get exposure and understanding about how AI can do something real and tangible to help them. They're going to get through access to BROK, and they're going to get their first crypto in some cases, and many of them have been exposed to scams. 99 out of 100 projects are scams. But this is not a scam. This is a totally legit project. And while crypto is high risk, this is lower risk than pure meme coins. And still, I won't say it's without risk. There's no such thing. Everything has risk. And I'm not an investment advisor. This is not investment advice. And this is not a security. This is a digital asset. So another disclaimer there. Also, should throw in the disclaimer, neither I nor BROK or our psychologists, also when you first log into those systems, you get that disclaimer too. So you're protected if you're sharing this with people. This is not you advising that this is a great tool for health or wealth or anything, really. It's an educational tool. You could say that, and it's a great way to learn, whether you, even if you hate crypto or afraid of crypto, you need to know about it. And and why not, if somebody participates in a random crypto, they're just going to lose all their money in their first day. Chances are 99 out of 100, they're going to just lose all their money their first day. With this, they're going to have, they're going to learn and grow as the program evolves over the long term, which it is you can be sure that I'm committed to seeing happen with long-term patents, with SPOCK Treasury locked for 2 years, and with I'm the dev. I haven't sold a single SPOCK token myself because there's no place better that I could think of to put funds. I own now, the only things that I own are SPOCK and Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is good because one of the great things about Bitcoin is you can borrow against it as well. And that's coming with, and we've already laid down the groundwork for that to be the case for SPOCK as well. And we already have that for sophisticated investors that meet the exemption requirements through the convertible note offering called the Interstellar Convertible or the Stellar Convertible Note. Another thing that a novel instrument that we created and launched in this last 106 days. So I've done over 90 live streams every second day for the first 45 days, then twice a week since day one. We have, as I said, 161 registrations and climbing, co-chaired a conference, live demos, events, multiple websites, hundreds of posts. I had to write a list, dozens of articles, the graphics, the proposals, grants, and yes, a TV show is in the works. So still don't think we deliver. Let me walk the SPOCK milestones document month by month. Then we won't. I was going to do a live demo, but we won't be able to do that here easily on this new platform. And yeah, we We graduated first day, I think, from up to Radium from the. So we were bonded and migrated the first day to Radium. 1 billion fixed supply, locked liquidity, no insider mining, and yeah, since April, the core agentic stack has been developing and rapidly expanding, and then continues to expand as we build more and more proprietary patented technology, the brains behind the brains, in many cases, like the Ingram evaluation matrix, the brain for AI, for explainable AI. BROK, your zero wallet private banker. Hermes, Agent Zero, orchestration. So yeah, again, this is a very sophisticated multi-agent swarm hierarchy. Not so much a swarm, but more. It has to be a little bit more structured because of the nature of financial services. But we built the central nervous system, and we've built the database layer and built it for the future to be future-proof, quantum resiliency. Yeah, we've improved the persistence of the memory. We've published the light paper, the MBC 20 specification. Yeah, I think we've done a lot. So the official public launch is July 24th. We're in good shape for that. And what else do I want to cover? So those are some of the stats for you. So over 150,000 lines of code, 50,000 shipped in production. You can see we have a real product. People were questioning whether this was real. I think you can see now for yourself. And if you want to go back, you can see I've been here every second day almost for the first month and a half, filling people in. So, but I haven't. I thought it was good for us to maybe do a recap so that you just understand that we are not just making constant announcements. Now, there's some things that we've announced that haven't come to fruition yet, or not in the way expected, like the National Housing Program. That is a massive, massive game changer. But you can see that we've been working on that and we haven't given up on that. If I kill something, I'll let you know, but I haven't killed that project. It just is, not getting, I think it actually is getting traction, because you look after we sent the proposal out, there's announcements shortly thereafter that Bitcoin could be used as collateral, as security. You could borrow against Bitcoin to buy homes. So there's movements towards utilizing crypto as part of a national homes program. But you saw the proposal. I sent it privately to Tim Scott's office, the head of the Senate Banking Committee, who had his people at my conference and provided a person to do a keynote at the Neobanx conference that I co-chaired. And so then I've redacted the proposal that I sent and shared it publicly, so you can see that on most of my things I publish. Almost 100% is on X, and then there's some novel things that are published on, and I have 3 X channels as well. But usually I'll cross post to some degree. But Ronald Ingram, that's the main account on X to get additional information. I have a Substack, also Ronald Ingram, for longer form content. There's also longer form content on X though as well, in the articles section. And here on YouTube, I was using posting more on kind of like a personal journal almost of some of my biohacking techniques. You'll find on here. It's just all authentic, transparent. It's who I am. So it's just easier that way. And if you don't, we are never going to be a traditional stodgy corporation. And in fact, traditional stodgy corporations are looking to me for and what we're at the leading edge of what you'll see as an emerging trend is more direct communication from founders, from CEOs. You're going to see more founders who are CEOs and CEOs who are founders. And the age of, I think, the parachuting in an executive from another industry, I think those days are over. Elon Musk is kind of the prototypical CEO of the future, one that communicates extensively, directly with his workers, with his team, with his partners, with everyone, and advocates free speech and demonstrates that in word and deed. So that's the future, and more raw, authentic content is the future, and more frequent, more in-depth, that's the future. And that's what CEOs, from putting on my perspective as a futurist, that's what you're going to see more of in the future. So we're not going to go back and copy stodgy old corporations. And so if you find this type of communication too raw, too authentic, this isn't the right place. This isn't the right place for you. This isn't the right project for you. Go find a different project. And if you're in this you want to know what's going on, you want to be part of the journey and see how this evolves, and for yourself, for your community, and yourself, then welcome. And please invite more people like you. You found your tribe. So we'll grow together, grow healthier together and wealthier together, and live long and prosper. So thank you, everyone. And we're also resilient. Thank you for jumping in. People that I see some actually managed to follow from the other. And thank you for someone. I'm just reading some comments now. Let me just read a few comments. Some appreciation for the communication. Thank you. Actually, I like this format, being able to see comments. And yeah, I see that people actually managed to find us here last minute and late. So no fault with our technology. Do we have to build a streaming application next? No, I don't think so. But I am going to look at some other streaming applications, and it's good to have this, right? These to recognize points of failure, and that's what we're doing. So even things like this unexpected challenge with the live stream, that is good learning as well. So we will now look at implementing other live streaming services. And I actually have another one already on deck that's more advanced. So maybe this is also, so there's always a silver lining, right? So this is in the prosperity, everything works out to our advantage. And that's what we will That's part of what the energy that you're aligning with. So I like it. I hope you do too. Yeah, you could gift someone asked, is there, I can take more questions actually if you're here. Someone asked, is the only way to gift to know the name, and can you send the gift via X? Yeah, you should be able to. Try it out by email, by text, by messenger. I haven't tried it on X. Maybe I'll try. Maybe I'll give that a try. I haven't tried that yet, so I'll give that a try. If it works now, I'll let you know. If it doesn't, I'll make that happen. That's a good idea. Anybody else? Okay. All right, everyone. Live long and prosper, and we will pick up live streams again on Thursday at 6 p.m. And there are some big updates happening. And I think, yeah, even today I have meetings with a large investor on the Stellar Note. So that is pretty cool. And I've been alluding to the trading platform side. So it was not a high priority for me because I was developing trading platforms, but I realized that there's no way that I'm going to be able to see the return on any trading platform that I can think of compared to SPOCK. And now there are, and I've done a deep dive into the hype. And just think about it. If you really figured out a automated trading system, OpenClaw, or using whatever, and I've gone deeper on OpenClaw, you see actually I have an agent. I actually have OpenClaw as well. And I have an agent out there scouting for me on Moltbook, and and actively now engaging on Moltbook. So we've been scanning Moltbook for quite a while and seeding Moltbook in preparation for X402 machine-to-machine transactions, which SPOCK is designed to do, and we haven't even really gotten that going yet. But it's built for that, ready for that as soon as we turn that on. Yeah, so this trading platform. Yeah, if you think about it, so the hype out there, if someone had really figured out a platform that's generating 100% a month, they're not going to share that. In fact, they're probably not even going to create a fund at that rate. They would just put their own money in and multiply their own money, and they wouldn't even set up a fund for anybody. But because that is something that people are very interested in, not everyone knows what I know about SPOCK yet, and wants to be diversified. So SPOCK will be able to help with that, help you do the due diligence. It can already do a lot. So you could upload financial statements and proposals and SEC documents and upload them and have them analyzed and look for pros and cons. And hey, a great question always is to say, what questions should I have asked that I didn't ask? And so yeah, so I have this meeting with some folks, and they also want a trading system, and so it's well within BROK's wheelhouse to. I've already started paper trading some systems to show them what's possible, and I think they're going to be kind of excited. I still think that they should just put all their money in SPOCK, but if you want to trade systems and trading, you'll be able to use SPOCK for that, and pretty soon. And so for that's could be another side business, and again, that's pretty easy if you have it fully automated, and so BROK sets up a dashboard for you, sets up the system for you, and you're in the loop so that you're not having to so you don't run into licensing and certification issues and regulatory issues with financial advice and that type of thing. So have to make sure all the disclaimers and everything are legal, but technically we could do it now. So anyway, enough on that, but that's some of the other things that I'm working on. Live long and prosper, everyone. Talk soon.